What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge slumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourselves. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Take this! It's over! Take this!
The fluidity of your movements is simply
Its
incredible.
head is a sweet point?
We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Mirage! Rising
Here I
Wyvern!
go! Divide Faith! A whirling struggle!
Strike!
Wind from heaven! First
Mirage! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Pierce through! Rising Wyvern!
Here I go!
I'm ready!
Air thrust!
Remember!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
There!
Swallow blade! Half faith! Enough done!
Arcane
Elusive deity! Pierce through! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Rising Wyvern!
Can you take it?
You're mine! Rising Wyvern! Fluid gate! Burn in hell!
I'm almost impressed.
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away.
Sorry, no.
There you go! No let up!
Rising
Now!
Wyvern! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dolium's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too.
Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting, but I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind, the core of Rena now sits above us. I pray that we won't encounter many stairs along the way.
Dispose of the trash.
I try not to chase fruitless endeavors.
This is gonna...
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more... diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renasalma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the real enemy.
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rena on the assumption the Renis Alma's here, right?
Just don't say it, Law.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Pt33's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renis Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to be done, it helps me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you. The floor's on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. This whole thing's making my head spin. Why would they even do something like this?
The Helgarahi can bend life forms to suit their will. Nothing they could do at this point would surprise me.
The ceiling is on the floor. That doesn't weird you out?
What good is a team made up of members who all share the same opinions on everything? And besides, when you get to be at my ripe old age, one begins to consider it quite uncouth to show one's true emotions at times.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. You can't be that old.
The sands of time wait for none of us, lad.
Yeah, we'll see. Though at this rate, I guess I'll have to live long enough to get as old as you first, huh?
You will. And when the time comes, I look forward to hearing you change your tune on the matter.
Hey, new equipment!
See what you've got.
The wise warrior knows when to call it quits.
So you want me, do you?
Healing circle. Let's cut our losses. Thanks so much. They may...
Rising Wyvern!
Your wings won't save you from me!
In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Rising Wyvern! Eagle Wing!
Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push.
Let's do this together, Alvin.
This one's all mine.
Sweet dreams!
Swallow Blade!
I'll thank you.
Take this! Rising Wyvern!
Bloody
Sonic Thrust! Rising Wyvern! More! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here I go!
More? Take this! Blue Escape! Mirage!
We do it!
We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hoped I wasn't good.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Sion actually look flustered.
Mirage! Sonic Thrust!
Now!
Follow me! In an instant! Impact Block!
The waters of creation only getting started.
Finished!
Negative gate!
Mirage!
Resonate with the
Bear
earth!
through!
Stalagmite! Raising you apart!
Now!
More! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! This could be useful.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alvin.
Be careful.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here under such harsh conditions.
I don't give a damn why they're here. We'll burn it all to the ground.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helgarahi. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helgarahi who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Pt33 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rena dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's Great Spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn. Dispose of the trash.
I'm not done! Sonic thrust! Rising Wiper! Mirage! Swallow Blade!
I'll shoot them out of the sky!
Rising Wiper! Mirage!
Raging Cascade!
Rising Wiper!
A whirling storm!
Take this!
Winds of heaven!
Strike!
Force! Take
Can you take it?
Rising Wiper! Mirage!
A chain between...
Rising Wiper!
A wailing banshee of lightning! Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Great!
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander. But I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
I'll take you all on!
Courteous, aren't you?
The wise warrior knows when to call it quits.
So those thorns of Shion's, they're really a part of Rena's great spirit?
Most likely, but only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of its own emanating from them.
If it's that insignificant, is there that much point getting rid of it?
Rising Wyvern! On your knees! You're on! Rising Wyvern! You're on! Come one, come all!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Yours are not the skills of just any warrior.
Save your compliment. We have to move.
Driven and talented.
You're on! Rending you apart!
I'll stop it and talk.
Thanks, Kisara.
Take this! It's over! Tornado Glide! You're mine! Elusive Deity! Rising Wyvern! Eagle Ray! You're on! Pierce through!
Watch
Rising
yourself.
Wyvern!
I sense incredible power.
Begin! Tempest! You're mine! Rising Wyvern! You're on! Rising Wyvern! You're on!
Tidal wave! Here's a healing!
Rising Wyvern! You're on! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here I go! Lightning Orb!
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
A whirling struggle now!
Doubly! In an instant! Impact Block!
Wow! Look what I just found.
Hey, new equipment!
My turn! Thanks so much! Giant Supernova! Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more! Shut!
Well done!
Rising Wyvern! Slash! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Through! Rising Wyvern!
You got company! I can't
Rising
do it
Wyvern!
forever!
Mirage! Rising Wyvern!
Leave the enemy's arc!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Resonate with you? Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here I go! One more!
Elusive Deity! I'm not done!
I need something.
You need to be healed!
Almighty and
You're
far.
mine!
Blah blah blah! Never day! Blah blah blah! Freeze! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Forgive you! The waters of creation!
Rising Wyvern!
Dance!
Mirage!
Droplet!
Slash! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Here's a healing
Sonic
arc.
Thrust!
First aid!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop me drowning?
Right.
Here!
Mirage!
Let me help you all touch away! First aid!
Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Take this! Rising Wyvern! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down! Dance! Immortal Droplet!
Rising Wyvern! Mirage! You're mine!
This will come in handy!
Pierce through!
Let me help!
Sonic Thrust! You're finished!
Do you like the handle? There!
Mirage!
Dance the wind! Air thrust!
Rising Wyvern!
Between heaven and earth!
Mirage! Pierce through!
A wailing
Here I
Bambi
come!
only getting started!
No escape!
A whirling struggle! Blah blah blah!
Time to
magic.
let it rip!
Do it!
Small! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Shine! Radiant Light! Rising Wyvern!
Dance in the
Rising
wind!
Phoenix! Rising Wyvern! I owe you one! Sonic Thrust!
You're just down here. Then tonight's meal is on you.
You've got it. Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Here I go!
My turn! Elusive Deity! It's over! Mirage! Sonic Thrust! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Sonic Thrust!
Sorry.
Rising Wyvern! Remove!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
We can really make weapons with this?
My word. This must be the work of Providence.
Prova what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
I'll leave it to you. Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
The waters of creation. It's over.
Rising Wyvern.
Here's a healing arm.
Pierce through. Rising Wyvern. Mirage. Rising Wyvern.
Raging cascade.
Rising Phoenix.
Got it. Now's our chance. A whirling trouble.
Rising Wyvern.
Winds like
Bloody howling. You're mine.
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too.
Take this.
It's over. Feel. Water the wild.
Rising Wyvern.
Do it.
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
We can really make weapons with this?
Survive this.
Rising Wyvern.
Tempest Swirl. Those flying creatures are a real pain in the butt.
Okay. Rising Wyvern.
The flashing parts are a weak point.
Take this. I'm not done.
Raging cascade.
Blood.
Rending you up. The waters of creation.
Strike. You're mine. I'm not done.
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Radiant Light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
I owe you one. Hold nothing back.
Don't suffer in silence.
Raging storm.
Now, while it's freely.
Take it down.
Mirage. Pierce through. Swirl blade.
Raging cascade.
Sonic thrust.
In
Pierce
here.
through. Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno. Chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Looks like some solid equipment.
think we can take that Zoogle?
sword-wielding Zugel?
And not just one, but four!
It thinks 2 extra hands is enough to beat me. It's sorely mistaken!
Let's just focus on what's important.
Rising Wyvern!
Here I go!
Miran! Rising Wyvern!
Amazing.
Miran! Slide!
Magic is there! Hold your hand! Pull myself together.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Try harder! Take it!
One more! Rending you apart! Bloody Miran! Got it! Here I go! Melt our fan! A chain between heaven and earth!
Rising Wyvern!
You're wailing! Lightning!
Try this!
Rending you apart!
Explode turret! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Benediction light.
Take this!
Is that a healing art?
It is.
Waters of
I
creation!
can't ignore your pain.
I'll try to be more careful.
Green base.
Rising Wyvern!
It's too much.
Now! Take this!
Negative gate.
Rising Wyvern!
Watch yourself. Sense incredible power.
Rising Wyvern!
We must be tired.
Another incantation. I'm merely doing what I can.
Amazing!
Glad you're on up.
Not long to go now.
We couldn't have done it without you, you know.
Great! Come on! Let's you and me get in there and finish this fight!
You're finished!
On your
Now I can let loose!
Rending
you apart.
Instinct sharpened.
Take this! We're not done! Miran! Try harder! My turn! Not a chance! Crush! Miran! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
It got rid of the sword!
Looks like I won
Charge
after
like
all!
that could
Except
easily
it
be
doesn't
fatal.
look like that thing's
Just as
finished
well,
yet.
I'm here to
Not by a
stop.
long shot.
You apart.
Here I go. Bloody We're getting started. Photon, lightning descent. Only getting started. A chain
Rising
between
Wyvern!
Here I go.
Miran!
A wailing fancy of lightning.
Thrust!
Stop. Divine savior.
Rising Wyvern! Miran! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! Swallow blade!
One wind after another.
Try this!
The waters of creation.
Infernal turret!
Now.
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
That equipment should come in handy.